Good evening all, and welcome to another video on All How's It Ale. It's Saturday night, which means it's craft beer night, and the beer we're going for tonight is from Mash Gang and Fierce Beer. It's this one, Infiniti Pool. And Infiniti Pool is a fruited West Coast table IPA. Weighs in at 2.5% ABV, and it says on the back that it's hoppy, sweet and sour. And that should go down well, because I've not long since finished a nice Chinese with some sweet and sour chicken in there. Anyway, it says, inspired by the Paloma cocktail, this table beer takes a grapefruit West Coast IPA and blends it with pineapple and lime for a refreshing and thirst-quenching bevy. Dank hops are transformed into bright and complex citrus. It's absolute luxury. I like the sound of that. Anyway, your hops are listed as Citra, Chinook, Centennial and Cascade, and your adjuncts are pineapple juice, lime juice, and of course, chili. And yeah, there we go. So, I've got to say, I love the can artwork on this one. It's obviously an Infiniti Pool, but you've got palm trees, you've got sort of funky geometry. It's a cool colour scheme. It's awesome. And, yeah, apparently this did really, really well at Hop City. Gutted I couldn't go because I was working, but nevertheless, I've got to try some now. So, let's get it out into a glass and see what we think. We are going to pour it into the Mash Gang glass, and the pour is... Oh, it's a lovely colour. Look at that. Yeah, that crisp carbonation. Look at that beautiful colour. That looks rather nice. So, your beer in a glass, it is a nice kind of deep orange mango-y colour. And the head has dissipated, but it was a nice white looking head, and it poured with a lovely crisp and carbonation. So, beer itself looks a lovely colour. Let's have a whiff. Oh my, that big fruit. Understandable with the fruit juice that's been included. Hint of sweet lime, pineapple, beautiful hops. The dankness is subtle on the nose, but that lime is cutting through really quite nicely. I like that. Yeah, that smells delicious. Anyway, so it looks good, it smells great. Have a taste. Cheers. It's nice. It is nice. There is more dankness on the flavour than there is on the nose. And that pineapple is really, really quite lovely. The lime cuts through. It's like an accent. It's like the pinstripe in a suit. You know, it just cuts through and gives it that little bit of class and just lifts it up to something a little bit different. The lime is quite sweet as well. It's quite nice. Hoppy to a fault. Body on this is brilliant. And carbonation was really crisp on the pour, really subtle in the mouth. And there's something almost... And it could just be the interaction of the fruit juices, almost minty. And I know that's going to sound very odd. It is just the interplay of those fruit juices and the hops, just kind of giving that little something different that kind of twists your melon a little bit. The finish on this is quite dry. It's hoppy, it's sweet, it's juicy. It is very, very tasty. And only 2.5%, which means that can is 1.1 units, something like that. And it means I can drink quite a few of these in a week with my, I say quite a few, by regular alcohol-free standards. It's not as many, but certainly compared to some of your bigger ABV beers, I can have more of these. I can have one a day, quite safely. And maybe an extra one here and there, just for good measure. Anyway, that is really nice. I'm enjoying that. That is tasty. So, Infiniti Pool. Let's go check out Untapped Scoreboards of Joy, which say there have been 28 check-ins and an average score of 3.37, which I think undersells it. I'm going to say it undersells that lovely tasting beer. My scoreboard of joy is currently void of anything other than names and categories. So we're going to fill it in right now, starting with the looks. And we'll top it off just for completeness, just so you can see exactly what it looks like again. It looks lovely on the pour. Look at that. It's almost iridescent. It's almost got like a metallic vibe going on, like the can. It's a beautiful, beautiful deep orange colour. Look at that. Hazy, beautiful, beautiful beer. I love colour in a beer. I love the darkness, the depth of that gold and orange and amber. That looks absolutely bob on for me. It's getting a full point. The aroma is delicious. It's fruity. It's hoppy. There is a real subtle sweetness to that lime, and the pineapple that sits in front of it just kind of rounds out a beautiful tropical kind of experience. Now, I'm not familiar in any way, shape or form with the Paloma drink. Never had it, never heard of it before today. So I don't know if it's comparable or not, but what I've got in front of me is beautiful. It's medium strength, it's fruity, it's hoppy. What more do I want? More of it, please. And I say more of it, I mean more, just more beer, so I can smell it more often. Yeah, I'm going to give it a point because I like it a lot. The body is excellent. It's slightly heavier than medium, and the carbonation, whilst crisp on the pour, is subtle in the mouth. It works really, really well indeed. And having that softness to that carbonation just supports the extra weight of that body and just lets it kind of, all the flavours float around your mouth nicely. I cannot fault it. It's getting a point. And the most important bit is the taste. Now, you get pineapple, you get lime, you get some general sweetness. But the bit that makes it for me up front is that slight, well, I say slight, it's not subtle, the dankness. I love dankness in hops. I love it. It's one of my favourite things. And I know a lot of people would describe it as perhaps like a sweaty changing room in a sports club somewhere, or just socks, you know, just something not particularly pleasant. Kind of, it's green, it's kind of just pungent, it's beautiful. It's something you either love or you hate. I think it's a bit Marmite anyway, but I'm very much in the love it camp. There's a slight sourness, a slight tartness to it. It all adds up to a really tasty drinking experience. Decent flavour strength as well. And being only 2.5% ABV, it's real subtle. There's no hint of, well, no hint. There's no kind of overbearing alcohol flavour. It's not subtle. It's not lost on you. It's really well balanced. You know what I'm going with that one. Yeah. And the finish, I like it. It's slightly dry, slightly tart, hoppy, and again, you just get a little bit of bitterness on the back end, which I really, really appreciate. And it is a grapefruity bitterness. It's kind of pithy, almost a little bit resinous, but pithy definitely. And I like that in a Westie. So yeah, there's nothing I dislike about it at all. So it's going to have a full point, which means that Infiniti Pool has got a full 5 out of 5, which means it can have a bonus point. Let's cover that one off in the end. The value for money. Value for money. What did I pay for these? I can't remember when I ordered them from Fierce. Where are we? On the old picking list. £3.60 a can, and I think it's worth every single penny. Yes, it's only 2.5% ABV, I'll hear many of you say. Surely you can get something better for your £3.60. Well, when you're in my situation and you want something lower ABV, but you don't want to sacrifice on flavour, Mash Gang deliver every single time. And today they've delivered with Fierce Beer on this one at a slightly higher 2.5% ABV. For me, £3.60 is a bargain, and yes, it's getting a value for money tick box. Buy again. You don't have to ask me that question. I've given it 5 out of 5, which of course I'm going to buy it again, providing they continue with the beer, of course. I did buy 2 of it. I will get some more, absolutely. And the bonus point, this one is that separates kind of the good beers from the great beers. And 5 out of 5 is a great score no matter what way you look at it and whatever way you slice that particular cake. But I had to invent this bonus point on my scoreboard to separate these super, super beers. And it was invented specifically for a Mash Gang beer. And predominantly it's Mash Gang beers that have had it ever since. does this one deserve the extra bonus point to kind of put it forward to the Beer of the Year award thing that I do at the end of every year? I think so. I think so. There's something a little bit exuberant, a little bit decadent about this one. And yeah, they mentioned luxury, absolute luxury, I think was the phrase that was used on the back of the can. Yeah, absolute luxury. That's exactly what it is. So, yeah, Infiniti Pool from Fierce and Mash Gang has got a full sweep of points on my scoreboard of joy today. I was looking forward to that, and it has not disappointed in any way, shape or form. It hits the spot right from the can artwork right to the flavour in the can. And yeah, it's superb. If you haven't tried it, grab some from Fierce Beer before it disappears. Because if you guys don't buy it, I am going to. And I've spent a lot of money on beer this month and other things like Warhammer. Yes, I'm a nerd. Forgive me. Shoot me if you will. Anyway, I'm waffling and I'm just going to say that has been the beer. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got the like, comment, dislike and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And check in tomorrow for the 40th birthday mystery beer. Catch you then. Bye.